Hello, this is Claude Sports Corner yet again, and this is a very special Pittsburgh Steelers report. And as you know, the Pittsburgh Steelers came away with yet another victory. They won 23-17 over the Arizona Cardinals. It was a hard-fought game, which is what I expect. And let's face it, with the lack of talent that the Steelers have, remember we are on our third-string quarterback, about our fourth running back. Our third string and down receivers. Our offensive line was pretty decent. In fact, they were much better today, especially as far as the run game is concerned. And the defense has been outstanding ever since Minkah Fitzpatrick has come over from the Miami Dolphins. But through it all, and especially when you look at what other teams are doing, for an example, the Dallas Cowboys are 6-7, and they have a wealth of talent when you look at their quarterback, running back, their receivers, their defense, and of course their so-called vaunted offensive line. The Steelers have really none of those things outside of maybe the offensive line. Of course, their defense has been top-notch ever since, I would say, about week 3. But the common denominator throughout this whole thing has been Coach Mike Tomlin. Now, as we know, Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season in any of his seasons as head coach of the Steelers, and in fact, he will not have a losing season again. He already won his 8th game. At worst, the Steelers would end up 8-8. I believe the Steelers will somehow coax out 10 wins myself. And listen, quite honestly, Mike Tomlin is directly responsible for each and every win that the Steelers have had. Remember, Ben Roethlisberger, even before his injury, looked like a shot quarterback. I mean, there's just no way around it. Now, I'm not saying that he wouldn't have got hot by week 3 or probably the middle of the season. I do believe that he would. But I also, as you know, have already said that the Steelers should have traded Roethlisberger for the Washington Redskins pick and gotten their quarterback, Dwayne Haskins. Now, I understand that Haskins lost another game, but that's more due to the talent around him, not to mention the lack of coaching that the Washington Redskins have. As you know, they have an interim head coach as we speak. And if you don't believe that Mike Tomlin wouldn't be able to coach up a guy like Dwayne Haskins, all you need to do is look at their third-string quarterback, Duck Hodges, at quarterback. And he looked very, very good. In fact, he was 8 of 8 in third downs, which is outstanding. In fact, that's beyond outstanding. Especially when you look at the lack of good quarterback play throughout the league, even by some of its so-called elite quarterbacks. But Mike Tomlin will do some wacky things. That 4th and 3rd fake punt where they basically handed the Cardinals a touchdown, which made it 20-17 at the time. Those are some of the things that infuriate you about Tomlin. In fact, you can make a case that Tomlin cost them a playoff berth with that same type of play in New Orleans last year. But, again, Mike Tomlin is the sole reason that the Pittsburgh Steelers are 8-5, outside of obviously the defense, which is also directly attributed to Tomlin. And I tell you what, you can't run that Mike Tomlin is only one with Bill Cowher's players. You know, yet again, you don't hear that talked about John Gruden. And John Gruden finessed $100 million out of the Oakland Raiders. And I tell you what, you see what he did today. And he's got his whole plethora of offensive weapons outside of the running back Jacobs, who was out. But still, he has a very good so-called decent quarterback in Derek Carr. He's got his receiving core. He's got a decent offensive line. And you look how bad the Raiders are. They're not going to have a winning season yet again. And that is directly attributed to how terrible and how overrated a head coach that John Gruden is. But luckily, as Steeler fans, in Mike Tomlin, we trust. And if he doesn't win the NFL Coach of the Year this year, they should just discontinue the award out and out, period. I wonder how many of these so-called Steeler fans want Mike Tomlin going now. Please like, share, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. This is Claude White, Yet again, take care and God bless.